And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Satellite imagery showing this strong low that's moved into the Gulf of Alaska here and becomes stationary, pushing a front east and north into the Yukon here, trailing back down across the southern panhandle today and the Queen Charlotte Islands, slowly shifting eastward through the day. Again, the main low center here, western or southwest Gulf of Alaska or so. A lot of moisture coming back around, keeping it pretty wet here, south central Alaska and the North Gulf Coast areas, and some lighter precipitation up to the north, and also some areas of light precipitation for the north slope into the Brooks Range, in toward Anatutuck Pass, reporting light snow much of the day today. Drier conditions back to the west here. In fact, a lot of clearing occurring here about the Kobuk Valley in across Kotzebue, Selawik areas, northwest coast, Seward Peninsula, a little breezy in those areas, but sunny day for Nome, and seeing some clearing here down over the southwest coast as well, but gusty winds here along the coastal areas and starting to dry out now over Kodiak Island. Back to the west, not a lot here. You can see some clouds here south of the Aleutians. They're going to stay to the south. At least any precipitation associated with them will stay to the south as that system moves off to the east there. You can see most of that direction of the clouds are off to the east-southeast. Should miss ADAC altogether, as well as the eastern Aleutians. Otherwise, high pressure, weak high pressure out here over the western Bering Sea. And you can see as you head eastward here, the gradient tightens up. We had 30 to 45 mile an hour wind gusts along the southwest coast during the day today, and pretty gusty north winds there, anywhere from 15 to 35 miles an hour across the Seward Peninsula, Bering Strait, Yukon Delta back to the northwest coast. And some mixed precipitation today, I should emphasize, light mixed precipitation for the Arctic coast into the North Slope areas, mostly in the form of snow there into the Brooks Range with some elevation. Otherwise, just isolated showers, pretty dry conditions, gusty northeast winds here along and south of the eastern Alaska Range area, but became lighter, but still pretty breezy here over the northeast part of the state. And periods of rain for Kenai Peninsula up into the Manuska Valley, showers of Susitna Valley, rain eastward here along the North Gulf Coast areas with heaviest rainfall of Mount Montague Island picking up over 1.5 inches of rain during the day today, with Ketchikan, Sitka, Juneau, and Hoonah all picking up 3/4 inch of precipitation, with this trough and that good southwest flow continues to funnel moisture right into the panhandle there. And then for tonight, out to the west, again, high pressure holding over the western Bering Sea, keeping this moisture to the south. And winds and shower activity slowly diminishing here for the southeastern Bering Sea and into the eastern Aleutian areas. Still pretty gusty on the winds, could see gusts 40 miles an hour here, especially in the channeled areas of the Alaska Peninsula, but becoming lighter. Still a little breezy there for the southwest coast, stays dry and mostly clear here as it was today up to the west and northwest. Snow showers, Arctic coast into the north slope to the Brooks Range. Scattered isolated showers here over the eastern interior north of the Alaska Range. And this low still in the Gulf of Alaska here just south of Prince William Sound. Slowly weakening, but it'll keep it wet here across south central Alaska. North Gulf Coast, to a lesser extent in the Copper River Basin. Yet another trough swinging more rain and breezy winds into the southeast coast. And for tomorrow, still have a trough along the panhandle there, that continued southwest flow. Showers out here over the Gulf sort of interact with the terrain to make for a general rain pattern here, rain situation, but amounts should be lighter than what you saw today. Tomorrow, still wet from the North Gulf Coast into Prince William Sound to about the Chugach Mountains, with scattered showers westward to the Alaska Range, tapering off in the Kuskokwim Valley. Dry and partly to mostly sunny for the southwest coast, right on up to the Seward Peninsula into the northwest interior. And again, chance of showers there for the north slope and portions of the Arctic coast, a little drier on the east side now. Otherwise, system to the south, system to the north there keeps high pressure in over the Bering Sea for light wind conditions and dry there. Wind and showers continue to diminish slowly here along the west coast down to the Alaska Peninsula. And then for the day on Wednesday, That pattern continues with lighter winds and still dry though. Seward Peninsula down into the southwest interior. Isolated showers on the Bering Sea side of the Alaska Peninsula, otherwise partly sunny for the eastern Aleutians. Sandpoint, Chignik could see partly to mostly sunny skies. And some clearings into Kodiak Island, but this low in the Gulf, not moving much, but slowly weakening, continues to weaken. Chance of showers there up toward the state airport on into the Barren Islands. And again, weak trough keeps it unsettled from the North Gulf Coast with showers through south central Alaska. Could be some clearing possibly and drier conditions in the Copper River Basin on up into the Tanana Valley. And then this system here pushing into the western Bering Sea, and that front dragging into the west central Aleutians brings small craft advisory level winds out of the west and southwest here with it, with light rain that should stay to the west of Adak till probably Wednesday evening. Otherwise, again, showers to the southeast coast, areas of light rain, showers in the central interior, isolated scattered shower activity there for the north slope out to the Arctic coastal areas. And putting this in summary again, low pressure in the Gulf of Alaska will keep periods of light rain going over the south central area through the next couple of days. Accumulations will be light inland, again with the higher amounts along the coast. And gusty winds inland continue with down through Tuesday morning before becoming calm by midweek. So conditions, again, gradually improving as that low continues to weaken in the Gulf of Alaska. Lows for tonight in the 20s here for the Brooks Range and upper 20s to lower 30s for the North Slope and Arctic coast. Otherwise, mostly in the 30s here in the interior. 40s down towards south central Alaska. In the lower 40s for the Bering Sea and the Aleutians. And 45 to 50 or so for the southeast coast. Highs for tomorrow in the 50s to near 55 to 60 about covers it there for the Panhandle. Lower 50s, Copper River Basin, south central Alaska to Kodiak Island. And up in the interior, mostly in the 40s, 30s for the Brooks Range on out to the Arctic coast. And then for the lows following morning in the 20s for the Brooks Range, portions of the North Slope, otherwise 30 to 35 for the Arctic coast. And mostly in the 30s here over interior Alaska, except south and east of the Alaska Range, down staying up in the lower 40s. And in the 40s for the Panhandle, 40 to 45, or mostly in the lower 40s for the Bering Sea, mid-30s there for St. Lawrence Island. That'll be followed by highs in the 50s here for south central Alaska and the Copper River Basin area. Upper 40s Kodiak Island, mid to upper 50s for the southeast coast. In the 40s through much of the interior, up to the Brooks Range. Brooks Range out to the Arctic coast, mostly in the 30s.